Bodyweight training for me is all about that pure combination between strength and muscle mass with, yes, skill. I don't believe that your routine will be complete if you don't have that skill component to practice in it. However impressive the 2-second short isometric full planche hold might be, and it is very impressive, done well, or that double bodyweight weighted dip might be. And believe me, I still program these. These are fantastic strength exercises. They don't unlock something in your brain like you learn something new. You flip yourself upside down, you roll on rings, or you transition from a handstand into a press, into a handstand push-up. Anyone who did calisthenics know what I mean. Something just unlocks in your brain. That's that skill component, learning something new, having that freedom of movement. And today I will show you how to master your body weight, adding ring skills into your routine. We will have ring skills to every level, beginner to advanced, 3 different levels, and within each level you will have different progressions so you know how to place yourself, where exactly to place yourself, and what you need to practice on that is challenging enough for you right now. We will end the session with programming, how to program them right now into your existing routine and how to progress, okay? Feel free to scroll into the skill. If some skill is too easy for you, scroll into the next one until you find the challenging skill to practice on right now. And yes, these skills work the whole upper body. Lats and pecs and arms, biceps, triceps and forearms and delts and abs and everything. But I don't want to dilute bodyweight training just into this skill works, this muscle group. If you want big deltoids, do handstand push-up. Because in my opinion, there are better ways to just acquire hypertrophy without all of the skill, without all of the technical aspects. And secondly, because there are even better byproducts of bodyweight training besides just the amazing byproduct of building muscle mass. Okay, muscle free to skip to the level that you need right now. We have 3 different skills and we will break it down and we will finish on the whiteboard with how to program them. Okay, all you need is chuck. You need chuck for grip and rings. Okay, let's start with the first one. You will always need to chuck your hand, but especially in that place here for the false grip, okay? Because the first skill is ring muscle ups. I should say you should have a few ring dips and ring chin-ups before you practice even the first ring muscle up drill, which for me is the best one, is with the legs on the floor, the back of your feet on the floor beneath you, and now you can go for the transition really slow. Pause here, transition. If you want, you can add a ring dip here to finish the rep, but the focus is put your legs on the ground to assist you just enough so you can control that transitioning portion here, which is why people ultimately can't do the muscle up. Most people who do the muscle up can do a few chin-ups, can do a few dips, but they don't have that middle part, which is the transitioning. First, use some momentum and speed to bypass strength gaps, but ultimately you want to perform them as slow as possible, as controlled as possible to increase the intensity. Okay. Now, this is not a false grip tutorial, ring muscle up tutorial. I have a few tutorials that are more in-depth talking about each skill particularly. Today I want to showcase the ring skills in a broader aspect and talk about how to program them, where I think that a lot of people make crucial mistakes and skill training is just a mess for most people. Once you have the floor assisted, you can probably do the eccentric portion from here, okay, pausing, slowing down, keeping that false grip, and going all the way down, straightening your elbows. If you can do the eccentric, the next drill would be to do the full ring muscle up. But once you can do it with speed, you should slow down and pause and transition. Remember, the reason you do ring skills is not just to tick a mark. I unlocked it. You want to gain everything from the skill that the skill has to offer you. Building the tendon resilience and acquiring the understanding how to control yourself, even though you are moving and flipping and switching and transitioning. How can I control each part? Pause here. Move slowly in the transition. Ring turn out at the top. That's the ring muscle up. Now, it's a superhuman feat of strength, but it is the beginner level for us. And move on to the next progression, which is the ring forward roll. Now let's break down the ring forward roll into separate stages. First one will be to tuck the knee to the chest. When you get your legs all the way to the body, you shorten the lever, you make the exercise faster. Hop on rings, go into the bottom of the dip, tuck your knees, and then roll forward. Always apply downward pressure on the rings so you don't lose height. You want to keep yourself as close to the ring as possible at all times. This is how it looks. Going down, tucking the legs in, keeping the false grip. Boom. And when you can do the ring forward roll tucked with the legs close to the torso, fast, you can slow it down. After that, try straightening the body, which makes this a beautiful skill with a straight body press, with a bicep, bodyweight bicep curl component, with a front lever touch/hold at the bottom. Yes, all of these in one skill. Let me show you. Same exercise, longer lever, straight body, completely different beast. Once you unlock that, you can move on to the next progression. The next skill, this is advanced level. I'm talking about the ring backwards roll, which is the exact opposite of the ring forward roll. They are actually the same exercise. The forward roll is the eccentric portion, and the backwards roll will be the concentric portion where you have to go from the bottom to the top if you want to look at it in that way. Now, starting with bands, which will be the easier for you, tuck the legs to your chest and don't try to do it as slow as possible yet. Keep that grip and downward pressure on the rings at all times. Always pull or push down on the rings. I'm putting the bands between the ring and I want enough tension here. If it is completely loose and I have too much slack, the band will not support me on the way up. Okay, this is how it will look. Start from here, you go the other way around. So not forward roll, rather backwards. Once you can do it with band quite comfortably for a few reps, move on to the next progression without bands, tucked with a lot of speed and try to slow it down. Once you get your first one, congratulations, this is a very advanced bodyweight exercise. Ultimately, you want to work very slow with a straight body, just like the forward roll, but backwards. This is extremely difficult. This includes almost like a front lever pull, reverse muscle up, and then a dip. Full body weight exercise. Starting here. Every small muscle group in my upper body worked to get one beautiful rep here. This is the hardest level of the most advanced skill that I have to offer for you today. Today, a lot of people are extreme specialists, just doing the street lifting, just doing weighted dip or weighted pull-up or muscle up, just doing the short planche and short front lever holds. I personally believe that bodyweight training has more to offer than just absolute strength. You want absolute strength and the muscle mass that you acquired to be tested in a sweet skill or a routine like that, demonstrating full control, mastery of your own body weight. Let's go into the whiteboard, starting with ring muscle ups, assisted into full body weight ring muscle ups, building from singles all the way to 3 sets of 5. You can go on to the next progression. Ring forward roll. Start piked, tucking the legs to your chest, fast. Try to slow it down, moving on to straight body, and go from 1 rep all the way into 3 repetitions. Now we only perform 3 repetitions here because the time under tension in each rep is already quite high, even higher than the ring muscle ups. 3 reps might take you 30 seconds, which is already quite a lot of time under tension, demonstrating a lot of strength, skill, but also endurance. Once you have that, you can move on to the next, the ring backwards roll. Start with bands, start by tucking the chest, the knees into your chest, start fast, and then try to slow it down. Ultimately, full body weight, piked, ultimately straight, from 1 rep, build towards 3 repetitions. A lifetime quest here, going from the assisted floor ring muscle up drill all the way into multiple reps of that advanced ring skill. I will show you a sweet progression rate that I use for my clients myself. Workout that you will perform 2 or 3 times a week. I don't recommend working these skills more than 3 times a week because I prefer that you will have 1 rest day at least to give the tendons, the joints, the muscles time to recover. Mostly the joints and the tendons because the muscle recover quicker. It is mostly at the joint, the tendon, the ligaments that you will injure yourself and feel the inflammation. So give yourself enough time to recover, warm up, wrist, scapula, shoulders, and then go on to perform the ring skill. This is where it sits in your routine because you are relatively fresh, but you are already warmed up. Before the rest of the strength movements, this is where you practice dips and pull-ups or planche and front lever, handstand push-up and 1-arm chin-up. It really depends on your goal and what your main movement is. If you want, accessories go thereafter. By accessories, I mean mostly isolation exercises, Y raises, triceps, biceps, or core exercises, okay? This is optional. Most people don't do it at all. If you perform a proper warm-up, ring skill, and want to do extra strength compound exercises, you are probably good to go. This is where the ring skill sits in the workout. We need to take the right progression rate approach to prevent injuries and make sure that you are not hitting plateaus. This is what even a smart athlete or coach would do. A very gradual approach that I have recommended before. It is called the double progression method, where you take a skill or exercise or weight and you add reps slowly until you hit a certain benchmark, like 3 sets of 5. Only then you increase intensity, add weight, or move on to the next progression. But the problem that I have is that the fatigue builds up relatively fast. Let's say you are performing the ring muscle ups right now. You can do 1 rep of the ring muscle up. The first workout will be 1 rep for 3 sets. Okay? This is RPE 9 or 10. You don't have any reps in reserve. The first workout will be already fairly challenging. You are always adding a rep on top of an RPE 9 or 10, which means that you will grind your strength out, which doesn't work as well with skills because of the technical demand of the exercise. What I prefer to do is to add sets before you add reps. So from 3 sets, you go all the way to 10 sets or 8 sets. Okay, depending on how much time you need really to digest the progression before you add a rep. As you move on to the next workout and the one after that and the one after that, each rep in it of itself becomes actually easier. You got stronger, but you are still doing the same number of reps per set. Most reliable way of adding stress to the body in order to get stronger is first to add a set, only then to add reps, and lastly, adding weight, intensity, moving on to the next progression. I want you to accumulate around 10 to 15 total reps when you train your skills. 3 sets of 5 for the ring muscle ups for me shows a sufficient level of mastery. 10 sets of 1 for me means that you can move on and add reps. 8 sets of 2 again falls almost in between that benchmark. 10 to 15 total repetitions per session, performed 2 to 3 times a week. This is enough practice with the skills in order to make progress, okay? If you want more bodyweight strength tips, articles, or programs and coaching under my guidance, check the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe only if you like the video. See you next time.